waking up to a new disaster. I'm 38 male, considering divorcing my wife, 33 female, because of this past weekend. What did she do? I'm sharing on Reddit anonymously because I don't know who to discuss the problem with. My wife and I have been married for 7 years and have 3 kids. After the second child, she had postpartum depression. It was so tough that it led her to having to leave her career and me taking on all the financial responsibilities. I recommended we try couples therapy, which totally backfired. Rather than focus on how we can improve, it was heavily focused on the initial root of the relationship, which included me dating multiple women when we first started. That's kind of common in the beginning, but, this was known, but caused insecurity and a lack of trust at a core level. I understood the therapist's intent to get to the core of the issues, but I felt the sessions were focused on my issues rather than our issues. There are bad therapists out there. If you feel that your therapist is... it's so tough because a therapist, they need to get to the heart of your issues, which means they're going to make you feel uncomfortable. They're going to make you feel attacked sometimes. But there's a difference between that and a therapist who is actually attacking you or addressing things in an unfair manner. And it's tough. It's tough to know whether it's your issue or whether it's their issue. Anyways, even my wife would say out loud when heading in, time for us to go find out how effed up you are. Oh my gosh. Okay. I could laugh, but she operated like the weight of the relationship's issues were on me. So postpartum, my wife was sleeping in, and I was feeding our kids, cleaning, working, spending an hour every 2 weeks getting torn apart by a therapist, and my wife was doing little to support our relationship and our family. Oof. So that was 3 years ago. We made it through this bump by instilling date nights. Every week we had a babysitter and a date night. Also, we started having sex more. That genuinely helped. She still does not clean, cook, or help with chores. Wait a second. So you do all the housework and you work? What is she doing all day? And these are small things, but those are not small things. That's half of the work. Ugh. And then they had another kid a year and a half ago. Last week she realized she missed her period. Oh no. On Saturday she took a pregnancy test. An old one we had lying around and it showed a faint line. She still went out for drinks that night with friends. What? We were like, crap, you might be pregnant. Hooray? Mostly hooray? Kind of anxiety inducing. Sunday morning I buy her 2 new pregnancy tests. I went out for it. I think that's an important note. I was the one that bought them and she was anxious about it. She did it. The line shows stronger. Crazy. She's pregnant. She had plans for brunch, noon, cheek doesn't cancel. She goes out and drinks the whole time. Does not come home until dinner time, smashed on martinis. Without me, by the way. I am watching the kids. She's maybe 4 to 5 weeks pregnant. Okay. I really don't like this lady. Who knows? I've been working in an office since Tuesday, but on Monday she told me she was scared. I told her that's fair. I'm scared too, but we will make it work. Then we had dinner last night, and she was giving me crap the whole time about how mad she is that she's pregnant. But she wasn't on birth control. We did not plan for this. But I think rather than just directly say, let's get an abortion, she just casually trying to cause a miscarriage. I have kind of evolved from being upset to being furious and starting to reach out to divorce lawyers today while at work. Do you recommend a divorce? Well, Reddit always recommends a divorce. Edit, too many replies. Okay, 2 key points. First, I was not cheating on my now wife when the relationship started. I was dating multiple women at the start of our relationship. She was also seeing another man. See, I said that's normal in the beginning sometimes. We met in our 20s and were actively on dating apps at the same time. We committed after 6 months of hooking up. I think that piece is being misunderstood by many responders. And second, I do not regret having unprotected sex. I will triple down and say, and never apologize for that. We have sex. We're married. It's usually unprotected. This is a decision we both made. A child can happen because of unprotected sex. We are both adults and have had multiple kids. We are aware of that. We had another kid after the postpartum depression 3 years ago. We know how having children works. It doesn't mean we were trying. It also doesn't mean that we were not trying. We've talked about having up to 5 kids in the past. Wow. As recently as the third was born. She went off birth control in January. It relates to her mood, and that's her choice to do so. I wasn't consulted about the decision, but I was informed she was off of it. Additionally, many people's anger at us makes me feel anger. My anger was more justified. We talked tonight. We're likely going to get an abortion, but right now we're working through it, and she said she will stop drinking and apologized. We did not even talk divorce. Thank you for those offering legitimate advice and didn't just attack. Okay, so I have problems with this lady in general. Drinking while pregnant to induce a miscarriage is despicable. Period. End of sentence. That is awful and it's sick, and I'm pissed off about it. But her attitude towards her position in the house is what bothers me the most. Well, not the most. It also bothers me. Equally so. If you are not going to work, you are going to do all the chores. You are going to cook every meal. You are going to take care of the house. That is the way it works. To have one person do everything and the other person go out with their friends and drink and sit around, that's horrible. What are you doing to this guy? Like, lady, you are a piece of crap. You are a piece of crap. And if you don't want more children with him, and your priority is to go out with your friends and drink, you obviously don't have much respect for him and you don't love him. So just let him go so he can find a woman that actually cares about him and he can have a life that is satisfying and that he has equal partnership with. Because you obviously don't want to be married right now anyways. And dude, stop being a doormat and leave. Okay, so why did you have another child when she's not over postpartum depression? Look, I had postpartum depression. I understand how horrible it is. It really is awful. But if you have an unsupportive partner, then it's even worse. This is a supportive partner. But it doesn't look like she's getting any individual help. Like, yes, group marriage counseling is great. With postpartum depression, you need to be free to say everything that is causing you to feel this terrible. You need individual therapy. You just do. And you also need medication. And most of the time, I'm not going to say everybody needs it, but like postpartum depression is a severe hormonal imbalance. That's what it is. Like, you getting medication helps immensely. So I don't know what she's doing, but it sounds like she's just putting all the blame on him and she's not really getting help. I don't like it. I don't like any of this. Poor kids. Absolutely poor kids. Oh, this relationship. Yeah, see, this person said the same thing. Oh, dude. All right. I've had enough of that one. That was a depressing way to start the day. Let's see if something more delightful will be here. What? Okay, this is on the Get Motivated subreddit. I just got dumped. Still live with another ex. He's doing great in life while I am floundering. This is interesting. Okay, I, 29 female, currently live with my ex-boyfriend, 38 male. I was living alone for a while, but we moved in together last year and tried dating again for the second time. I quit my job and lived off the rest of my savings because I was depressed and irresponsible. That's why you are floundering. I thought, I'll figure it out later. That's a terrible thing to think. It was a classic avoidant anxious dynamic between us and we broke up. I started dating my now ex-girlfriend after this. Okay, so you're bisexual. While I was with my ex-girlfriend, he decided he wanted me back. I stayed with the girlfriend. She dumped me. He and I are still living together, and he is now moving on. I just signed a lease for another 6 months because I cannot afford to get my own place yet. I have to live here. He was also my main friend for 6 years. We obviously aren't friends anymore. He just got promoted at work, has an established career now, is a new manager at a strip club, dresses up very well and snazzy to go to work every day, has a solid group of friends, plenty of money saved, makes great money, seems happy, and he's flourishing. He's very smart. He's worked for it. He deserves it. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm a server at a breakfast place, doing fine there. I'm aimless in life, and ever since my dad died, I've subsequently dropped out of college at 2018. I'm eventually going to try and become a programmer, though I don't have any passion for it or anything. I have no close friends. I barely even talk at work. I'm just depressed every day and drowning in self-loathing. I have no savings left. I used to have 20,000. I need to pay off 1,600 in high interest credit card debt before I can begin saving again. Just paid $730 this month. It really sucks. It's very hard to build up any self-esteem when I'm stuck in this position. He's smarter than me, more successful than me, a better person than I am. He has better personality than I do. I feel like a hopeless, worthless, pathetic loser. Can't even be happy for him. It's sad. Also, not nice to admit that a large part of me only really wants him because, for me, he represents a sense of security and safety. He's also a great person, but it's hard to describe. Just wish we could be partners and get through life together. Just long for that sense of security my mom had her whole life with my dad. Just in having a partner. Having to make it through this world on my own is pretty intimidating, to say the least. Just had to get this off my chest. Don't know how to feel better about it. It's really taking a toll on me and my self-worth. Thanks in advance. I appreciate it. Okay. I have a lot to say about this, but I do like that first comment. Me at 29 versus me at 38 is like night and day. You can do a lot with your 30s. Yes, you can. Secondly, be inspired by him. He sounds like not someone that you should be jealous of or wanting to be with just for security, but be inspired by him. And don't become a programmer if you're not that into it. You're gonna hate your classes and you'll just get more depressed. Find your passion. Find your passion. Now, I definitely understand the desire to be secure in a relationship and have a partner that you can attack life with. Everybody wants that. As someone who does not currently have that, I understand the occasional frustration that you feel when you don't have it. But here's the rub. You don't need it. Yes, it makes life much more enjoyable. It makes life much more fun and much more successful if I had a partner that I was battling the world with together right now. Partners in crime. That's what I always said I wanted. If I had that right now, yes, it would increase my happiness. But my inner sense of contentment in my core, I'm happy. I'm good. And you need to find what you're passionate about and get to that place where you're good. Internal. It's not easy, but you can do it. The motivation may not come. This is what you do. You act until you get motivated. People think that you have to randomly feel motivation and then you act. That doesn't work. All right, because it's going to be sporadic and it's not going to be consistent. Motivation comes from consistent action. But the biggest thing is maybe take a personality test. Maybe take a jobs direction test. Find out what your talents are. Like, you keep saying he's smart. Just from the way you write, I don't think you're dumb. Like, you obviously have a good brain in your shoulders if you were going to become a programmer. So take a freaking a jobs test to see what your talents are. And then pick up a couple books. Read books related to that. See what catches you, what makes you fascinated. The more you focus on being depressed, the more depressed you're going to get. That's the thing about depression. But the thing about depression is it makes you feel good. I don't know why you feel good, but you feel good when you're depressed. I've been there. Comparison is the thief of joy. Realize this person's 9 years old. That's the other thing. He's a lot older than you. 9 years older than you, has a lot more time to save money, develop a career, and work on himself. Emotionally, you're young and things will get better. Keep doing you. All right. And a lot of other stuff on that. Yeah, this is exactly what I just said. Don't pick up programming if you don't have a passion for it. Seriously, that's the worst thing to do. If you even want to understand it, you'll need a lot of dedication and passion. Pick pretty much any other career. Okay, I disagree with the end of that. Yeah, so another depressing one. Okay, I may not, this is just a day. ADHD, just sleep 20 more minutes. ADHD, how about 30 more minutes? ADHD, just skip work. ADHD, just quit your job. Why are we like this? Oh, just no mother in law. I love these. I mean, okay, granted, I've had one mother in law officially. I mean, I've dated other people for extended periods of time. So they were mother in laws, and but my ex husband's mother is amazing. She is the coolest woman. I respect her so deeply. I absolutely love her, like genuinely love her. Um, so I can't relate on these mother in law stories. But I still think they're funny. Me and mother in law were both going to have stitches after the visit. What? Okay. I had a traumatic birth of my first child, and things went south after the epidural. Baby got stuck and was causing me excruciating pain, so we had to do an emergency C section. Little one came out healthy and happy, and I was so glad not to be pregnant anymore. I had my sisters and DH's dear husband with me the whole time. Everything was great until this point. Well, mother-in-law shows up drinking White Claw in a Gatorade sports squeeze bottle. Found the evidence in my backseat when we went home from the hospital. Oh, mother-in-law, I hate you. Not my mother-in-law. This mother-in-law. It's 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Who is drinking White Claw at 11 a.m.? I mean, well, I'm an alcoholic. I used to. I'm holding the baby, getting some bonding time with her, trying to latch, taking pictures, and overall enjoying the new baby. Later in the day, it's time for the baby to wake up for a nap so she can eat. Well, baby was fast asleep, and I didn't want to abruptly wake her up, so I was being gentle. This hag walks over and starts flicking the bottom of my newborn's throat to wake her up. I moved my baby so fast away from her and shot her the dirtiest look. Said, "Don't ever do that." She sat right back down. After that, we were on the topic of pacifiers. I don't want to use them because they cause dental issues and breathing issues because their palate is still soft. Yeah, when they're real little like that, you want to be careful. Obviously, like, it's debatable. And every time I told her no, and why I said no, but she kept going. No sleep, drugged up, hormonal. I snapped. No, we are not using pacifiers. What don't you get? She backed off after that. My sisters then later informed me that she brought alcohol into my home. I was seeing red. We lost our mom 1.5 months ago to substance abuse from alcohol. Oh my gosh. Our dad and brother, when we were younger, was into substances, so we were very sensitive by drugs and alcohol. Fast forward, we get home and settle in, and she starts criticizing how dull my knives are. What? Why is she talking about your knives? How I shouldn't use Swiffers because they don't get all the dirt, my pantry, my laundry, my grass needs to be cut, my cat's stealing my baby's breath, etc. I worked my ass off to get this house. It's a beautiful two-story, new build, 4 bed, 3 bath, 2,300 square feet. She lives in a 3 bed, 2 bath apartment with 4 other people in Florida. She ended up cooking, but I was too nauseous to eat from all the medication, pain, and exhaustion. This is when it started heating up. Girl, it was hot before. I told my older sister not to let her hold the baby because I was so pissed about her lack of consideration with the alcohol and the constant berating that I said, hold the baby while I go nap. DH is walking me up the stairs, and I'm baby stepping it, one stair at a time. I get halfway up, and this witch peeks her head around the bottom of the stairs and says, "You're still here?" and giggles with her smoker's voice. I stop to look at DH and say, "Get your mother before I do." I then wake up, and mother-in-law is pouting on the couch that she didn't get time to hold the baby. Mind you, this is my first child, the first baby out of my sisters. We just lost our mom. Mother-in-law has 3 other grandchildren. Why act so entitled to try and take the time away from us? Also, I didn't want her to be there. She invited herself, so I said, sure, but DH needs to be next to her because God forbid she kisses or does some wild crap with the baby. The second little one gets fussy, she passes the baby off and goes upstairs. The next day, our flight leaves early at 7 a.m. She's so upset she didn't even wake her son up to say goodbye. I was so happy when she left. Girl, I would have been too. DH and I had a lovely conversation about his mother and set boundaries if she were ever to visit again. First comment is what I was thinking. She would never set a foot inside my house again. 100%. She's done. She's done. She's done. I mean, she was drunk. Yeah, seriously sounds like she was intoxicated and saying whatever came to her stupid head. It sounds insensitive and disrespectful. Yeah. And as someone who's dealt with substance abuse issues, who's seen substance abuse issues, who has dated people with serious substance abuse issues, you can get super sensitive about people disrespecting your boundaries with that to the point where like you'll never talk to them again. Um and on to the next. When I told her I came from a toxic relationship and she starts hugging me like I'm the victim. Oh my goodness. Look at his face. He's wait, I want to see the smile. I want to see the smile. Yeah. Okay. The new facial tattoos I have been trusted with. Oh my gosh, facial tattoos scare me. All right, so I don't. I mean, what jobs do you have where it doesn't matter if you have facial tattoos? I'm just saying. Ooh, that ear one is cool. Oh my gosh, right on the cheekbone. Oh my gosh, girl, what are you thinking? That's really well done, though. Dog had to make the hardest decision of his life. Oh, oh, we went for the man. Is he gonna come back? He's gonna come back. Yup, he's gonna come back. All right. Oh my goodness, that is a gorgeous door. Look at that. Look at how badass that is. What? Okay, whoever's house that is, they got money. Not like a little bit of money. They got money, money. Money, money. Like money. When I watched season 2 of a show, trying to remember what happens in season 1 that I watched 2 years ago in one day. Yes. 100%. Outside the grocery store, there's. Okay, if I give you money, don't ask for more. That's it. Bye. Someone outside the grocery store was very politely asking people for money. Everyone ignored him, so I gave him $1. It's not much, but other folks gave him the same. Soon he'd have enough. Bro, can I ask you a question? Can you give me more? No. Maybe when you come back? No. I just need a little more to get by. Stop abusing kindness. I was at Home Depot when a woman followed me through the parking lot on one of those motorist carts, yelling at me to give her cash. Luckily, the manager. What about Cash App? You don't have that, do you? You have that, don't you? Luckily, the manager came out and told her to get off the cart and leave people alone. I work really hard for what I earn. I'm not just going to give it away because you have your hands out. It's a sad state of affairs, but that has been my experience. That's freaking insane. I'm a dude. Like, I effing hate when people tell me I look tired or angry. Like, I'm just standing here. What the F? You sound angry. I bet it's because he's tired. And then, yes, the wolf meme. Oh my gosh. That is perfection. All right. I'm going to read this one and then we're going to be done. 100 good choices why it actually works. And the reason is because I feel rather unmotivated today. I have had a sore throat for 2 days, but generally I don't feel terrible. But the sore throat's always the start of something. I didn't really want to do anything. I have a lot that I need to get done. Um, but I'm not feeling motivated. And I'm sorry, all the stuff we've read so far, it really didn't help. so, so I really want to get motivated to get out of bed and clean the kitchen and reorganize my desk and, you know, actually get some work done. Like, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be good. So let's read Get Motivated 100 Good Choices Why It Actually Works. I was stuck, just that quiet, foggy kind of stuck where even small tasks felt like a lot. Making the bed, responding to texts, drinking water, all of it started to feel heavy. So I tried to figure out what is the least amount of structure that I could set up for self improvement that was impossible to fail. That's a great idea. And it came to me. Make 100 good choices. Count each and every one. Don't quit. Huh. I started counting my good choices. No goals, no habits, just moments. Small things I did to move me in a better direction. Made the bed, that's one. Drank water, another. Texted someone back, stepped outside, took the trash out instead of leaving it for future me. All tiny wins, and they all count. Repeat count. If 25 of your good choices are drinking water, more power to you. You don't even have to write anything down. You can use an old envelope and use tally marks. First, I just wanted to get a little momentum, something visible, tangible. But after a while, something shifted. Instead of feeling burdened by tasks I should do, I started seeing them as opportunities, like little Easter eggs hidden in my day. Every boring, overlooked thing, organizing a drawer, wiping down the counters, getting off my phone, became a moment I could choose to feel proud of, and I could count it to get to my goal of 100. The psychology flipped. It wasn't about guilt or pressure. It was about noticing those opportunities. That change in framing made a bigger difference than I expected. I found I had naturally put a lot of small things in my life in order. I felt real momentum, and it was easier to start aiming higher. I can't promise you will be so much happier or your life will be so great, but if your motivation level is at a 0 to 1, I can confidently say that this is a challenge that could get you off the ground. That is awesome and extremely helpful. Ooh, I love this. I'm all about small wins. The flip from opportunity to do something good is def a shift I prefer over shoulds or have tos. It's low pressure and much more empowering. Thank you for sharing. I'm doing this along with the marble idea from Atomic Habits. What is the marble idea from Atomic Habits? Now I gotta look that up. Marble idea from Atomic Habits. Why can't I type? My fingers are too big, okay? Does anybody else have big fingers? They're enormous. The marble idea from Atomic Habits, a visual habit tracking method where you move marbles from one jar to another each time you complete a desired habit. Creates a satisfying visual cue and physical action, reinforcing the habit and a mini dopamine hit. I don't like that. I'm too ADHD. That would never work for me. It's good for other people. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. It's a good idea. But, dude, it would never happen. All right, folks. Have a fabulous day.